So they don't give you the trophies. I got the checks. I didn't get the trophies. Jay got all the trophies, man, because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. The kids even have Grammys. Like, they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. Come on, and he ain't show up. He got 20 now.
Eminem is stirring the pot again, and this time he's going straight for Jay-Z and Beyoncé. No filter, no holding back. Slim Shady ain't just backing up 50 Cent in his beef with the Carters. He's pulling the curtain on what he claims is a long history of sabotage in the music game. According to M, Jay and Bey didn't just block opportunities, they allegedly destroyed the careers of multiple black artists who dared to shine too bright. And this ain't the first time Eminem clashed with Jay. Word is Jay tried to stop 50 Cent from performing at the Super Bowl, but Eminem stood his ground and made it happen anyway. Now he's speaking out louder than ever, calling out the power games behind the scenes. M says the industry is controlled by a handful of big names using sneaky moves to crush the competition. And the Carters are right at the top of that list. He's pointing fingers at what happened to legendary names from Big L, DMX, and Aaliyah, who are no longer with us, to others like Marie and Carrie Hilson, who just faded away with no clear reason. People are whispering that it wasn't just coincidence, it was calculated. So the big question is, why are heavyweights like Eminem and 50 Cent speaking out now? Is it because the Carters' tight grip on the game is finally slipping? So who are all these artists that Jay-Z and Beyoncé supposedly pushed out of the spotlight? Let's get into it. Eminem might not be out here trolling on social media like 50 Cent does, but don't get it twisted. He's not staying silent either. M's been crystal clear. He's got zero respect for artists who climb the ladder by stepping on others. And in his eyes, Jay and Bey are at the top of that list. This ain't just about industry politics. For Eminem, it's personal. His bond with 50 Cent runs deep. These two go way back, and it's more than just music, it's family now. 50 even broke down in tears at Eminem's daughter Haley's wedding last year, saying it was one of the realest moments he's ever experienced. So when M sees 50 getting iced out or disrespected by industry powerhouses, he's not letting that slide. Let's rewind to the long-running beef between 50 Cent and Jay-Z. This feud's been heating up for years with no peace in sight. And knowing how ride or die Eminem is, there's no doubt he's picked a side, and it sure ain't Jay's. See, 50's always said, if you mess with my enemies, you're my enemy too. No middle ground, no second chances. That loyalty cuts deep, and Eminem stands on it. Yeah, Eminem and Jay did collab on a few tracks back in the early 2000s, but that was before the masks came off. Word is, M found out Jay was moving shady behind the scenes, allegedly trying to kill 50's momentum in the game. That's when the energy changed. Fast forward to 2023, 50 publicly called Jay out, saying he tried to stop him from performing at the Super Bowl. Jay supposedly used his pull with the NFL to make it happen. But guess what? His plan blew up in his face. Eminem wasn't playing. According to 50, M stepped in and made it crystal clear. If 50 ain't on that stage, I'm not doing it either. And just like that, Jay's power play crumbled, and it doesn't stop there. 50 Cent and Eminem have teamed up to call out the Carters for allegedly pulling slick moves to snatch Grammy wins. 50 didn't hold back. He straight up accused Jay-Z of using his marriage to Beyoncé as leverage to secure trophies. Meanwhile, Eminem's been shouting for years that the Grammys are a total scam, all about who's paying, not who's really got talent. He said it loud and clear. The whole thing is pay to play, and he wants no part of it anymore. M's biggest issue? It ain't even losing. He said if someone else drops a better album, cool, he can respect that. But what really fired him up was how the Grammys used him for views. They hyped him up like he had a real shot just to bring in ratings, then snubbed him at the last second. That kind of game, he's done with it. When someone asked if he'd ever go back if he got a say in the votes, M shut it down. Said it wouldn't even matter, because the system's rigged from the jump and the votes are just for show. 50 Cent didn't just say the Grammys are rigged, he went off. He claimed that Jay-Z's wins had way more to do with his marriage to Beyoncé than his actual skills on the mic. According to 50, the numbers don't lie. Every time Jay and Bey show up, ratings shoot through the roof. So what does the industry do? Hand them nominations and trophies to keep them coming back. And 50 didn't stop there. On his recent appearance on the Flagrant podcast, he doubled down. saying all those awards Jay's been stacking over the years? It's not about his bars, it's about Beyoncé's shine. Then he dropped the real bomb. 50 straight up said the Carter marriage looks more like a business deal than a love story. He suggested Jay and Bey might just be staying together to protect their empire and keep their brand untouchable. That's not just shade, that's a full-on accusation. And if there's even a little truth to it, this could flip the whole narrative about hip-hop's so-called power couple. In a recent interview on Talk with Flea, alongside Cameron, 50 Cent once again lit Jay-Z up, accusing him of still pulling dirty tricks, not just in the music world, but in the business game too. What makes it wilder? 50 said Jay doesn't even need to play grimy anymore. He's already made it, got nothing left to prove. But according to 50, Jay's still out here blocking deals just to be petty. And it ain't just 50 saying this. Jay's been hit with sabotage claims for years. Artists have been whispering for a long time that Jay moves sneaky when he feels threatened. And those whispers go all the way back to the 90s. One of the biggest rumors, the late Big L, the Harlem legend who actually gave Jay a boost early on. Fans have long believed Jay's path to the top wasn't always clean, especially considering how suspicious Big L's death was. Some people still question what really went down back then, and how much Jay might have gained from it. Big L was a straight-up legend in Harlem's underground hip-hop scene, known for his crazy freestyle skills that had people saying he was one of the best to ever touch a mic. In 1992, he signed with Columbia Records, and by the next year, his debut album dropped. It made noise, got props, but out of nowhere, Columbia dropped him less than a year later, blaming it on creative differences. But Big L wasn't folding. He bounced back and started his own label, Flamboyant Entertainment, and was already putting in work on his second album. That's when Rockefeller co-founder Damon Dash started eyeing him and his crew for a potential deal. Things were this close to taking off big time. Then out of nowhere, tragedy. Big L was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Harlem. Just like that, the game lost a major voice. But here's where it gets real sketchy. Gerard Woodley, who grew up with Big L, got arrested in connection to the murder. But they didn't have enough evidence, so he walked free. Years later, in 2016, Gerard himself was shot and killed in Harlem too. And after all these years, Big L's murder is still unsolved. No closure, no justice, just questions hanging in the air. But if you ask certain industry insiders, like whistleblower Jaguar Wright, she'll tell you straight up, Jay-Z knows exactly what happened to Big L. She's even gone on record saying, "Tell everybody about Big L, Sean." And that's not the only name linked to shady situations after crossing paths with Jay. Let's talk about another rap icon who passed under very suspicious circumstances, the one and only DMX. Before his death in April 2021, DMX had been vocal about how he felt Jay-Z tried to sabotage him. But after X passed, Jay went on LeBron James's show and claimed there was always love between them, even if there were some tense moments. But fans of DMX weren't buying it at all. They remember what DMX himself said, that it was Jay who was super competitive and couldn't stand seeing anyone else win. X believed Jay intentionally blocked the release of his sixth album out of pure jealousy. The streets haven't forgotten, and the questions around X's final years are louder than ever. Back in 2004, when Jay-Z stepped in as president of Def Jam Records, taking over from Leor Cohen, the whole vibe changed. Up until then, DMX had been running Def Jam, dropping 5 back-to-back #1 albums from 98 to 03. He was the face of the label. But once Jay took that top seat, things got messy. DMX claimed Jay started interfering with the release of his 6th studio album, Year of the Dog, again. According to X, Jay switched up quick. Once he decided Rough Riders wasn't part of his vision anymore, he made sure no one from that camp was standing in his way to snatch back the spotlight. And DMX wasn't the only one who felt the heat. Beanie Sigel went through the same drama. After putting out multiple solid projects and rising fast in the Rockefeller crew, Beanie looked like the next one up. But according to Beanie and folks close to him, Jay got nervous. Word is, Jay feared Beanie was getting too hot, maybe even close to outshining him. So what did he do? Allegedly started delaying Beanie's projects, blocking momentum, and making quiet moves behind the scenes to keep control. And that's still just the tip of the iceberg. Jay-Z was allegedly pulling even more shady tricks, like dropping his own albums right around the same time as Beanie's, knowing it would steal the spotlight. And get this, There were even claims that Beanie was only allowed to move a limited number of records, like someone was capping his sales on purpose. Now, some folks might say all these accusations sound like jealousy or old grudges. But here's the thing. When so many artists who were once right by your side are all saying the same exact thing, it starts to raise real questions. Maybe it's not just sour grapes, maybe there's a pattern. Even Kanye West got caught up in it. Jay and Ye were supposed to be like family, tight for years, but that didn't stop Jay from flipping the script. Kanye later hinted that Jay might have even had someone ready to come after him. Still, that didn't scare Ye off. He went on to call out both Jay and Beyoncé, straight up labeling them as industry puppets. Now let's talk about Beyoncé. As much as she presents herself as a queen of female empowerment, there's been plenty of talk behind the scenes about her allegedly blocking other women in the industry. One name that always comes up, the late Aaliyah. Rumors have swirled for years that Beyoncé was jealous of Aaliyah, not just because of her insane talent and natural beauty, but because of her connection to Jay-Z. Before Bey ever came into the picture, Jay was reportedly obsessed with Aaliyah. According to Dame Dash, who actually dated Aaliyah, Jay was pulling all kinds of moves trying to get with her. But Aaliyah wasn't interested. She wasn't falling for it. And then, Beyoncé suddenly steps into the spotlight. Things shifted real quick. Jay and Beyoncé went public with their relationship in 2001, just months after Aaliyah tragically died in that mysterious plane crash in the Bahamas. The timing? Way too close for comfort. And for some fans, it still raises eyebrows to this day. But even after Aaliyah was out of the picture, the rumors about Beyoncé trying to shut down her competition didn't stop. Not at all. Once she left Destiny's Child and got with Jay-Z, more stories started popping up. One big one, word is Jay-Z snatched producer Rich Harrison from Amiri, another super talented artist that Beyoncé was allegedly feeling threatened by. And if you remember Amiri's 2005 smash One Thing, then you know that beat was fire. And fans still say it sounds way too similar to Beyoncé's later hit Crazy in Love. Timing? Kinda suspicious, right? Then there's the Carrie Hilson situation, a whole mess on its own. Carrie ended up in a public feud with Beyoncé after rumors spread that her producers had her record a diss track aimed at Bey. The plan? Get Beyoncé canceled and clear the lane. Carrie denied throwing shade at first, but things got even messier when she refused to hold up a magazine with Jay-Z and Beyoncé on the cover during an interview. That one move blew up and got her dragged all over the place, and fans were quick to say Beyoncé's camp wasn't letting anything slide. You want to hold the magazine? That one moment exploded into full-blown chaos for Carrie Hilson. Beyoncé's fan base went into full attack mode, and rumors even started flying that some fans had physically confronted her out in public over the drama. Fast forward to 2020, and Carrie finally spoke out. She admitted she was pressured into releasing that rumored diss track, and even worse, she revealed that she was receiving serious threats because of it. It wasn't just industry beef. It got real. And it's not just Carrie. The late celebrity bodyguard Uncle Ron, who passed away last November from pneumonia, also had plenty to say. Before his death, he came out with bold claims that Beyoncé and Jay-Z didn't just compete. They sabotaged anyone in their way on the climb to the top. And honestly, the list of artists who were allegedly blackballed, blocked, or straight up removed by the Carters is way too long to fit into just one video. The deeper you dig, the messier it gets. Now sure, their fans might say it's all just hate or jealousy, but when major names like 50 Cent and Eminem start pointing fingers at the Carters, it's kind of hard to just brush it off. At this point, it's not looking like random drama. It's starting to feel like a pattern. So what do you think? Is all this just wild talk, or is there some real truth behind the scenes? Did Jay-Z and Beyoncé actually block other artists just to stay on top? Sound off in the comments, and trust, you don't want to miss what's coming in the next video.